Hey, 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 it is an unstoppable day. It's your boy, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge, with another unstoppable thought for your week. How you guys doing? Come on in, like and share. Come on in, like and share, because I want to share with you for the brief time that we're together, the four best ways to practice self-care. So now, a world famous comedian who is struggling to take the stage and perform at his top level because he's feeling some kind of way about the way things are going now. Also, a son who's lost his mother 3 months ago, struggling to go back to work, keep on the face that helps everybody else while he's looking for someone to help him make it through that loss. Disasters from the West Coast to the East Coast and all parts across this globe. All of those are examples of things that are happening that can keep us down, that can keep us stuck in our place, that can keep us feeling depressed or just having our mental attitude shot straight to hell. It's in times like those examples that I just mentioned, plus whatever you may be going through right now, where it's important for you to practice some self-care. If you're watching, whether live or in the replay, I just want you to put in hashtag self-care, because that's what we're going to be talking about right now. We need now more than ever to be practicing some, not me too, but me time, because you, and I'm sure especially you're probably going through some things. This pandemic has sent you in some type of way. You may have lost a job. You may be struggling to make ends meet. You may be wondering how your child is going to be able to be productive in school now that they're going back to school. You may be dealing with the mask versus the no mask mandate. You may be dealing with all these things that just could be taking your mind, body, and spirit into a state of flux. And now more than ever, you need some self-care. So I want to talk real quickly about 4 ways how you can practice self-care no matter what obstacles you may be going through. So hopefully you've got your pen and your paper, because note takers are change makers as well as money makers. Thank you, Maria Montalvo, putting self-care in the feed. Come on in, swipe and share. Come on in, like and share, because we're talking about the 4 best ways to practice self-care on this Unstoppable Thoughts moment. And the first one is B. And B stands for be real, y'all. Just be real with your situation. Be real with where you are right now. Hey, it's okay to say, I'm not okay. It's okay to say, I'm struggling. It's okay to say, I'm feeling some kind of way about my situation, because it's that awareness of how you're feeling that's going to allow you to now practice ways to get over that feeling. You know, sometimes you've got to go through to grow through, and this is a growing season for you. This is your going through. Every rose, before you see the redness or the whiteness or the yellowness of that rose, it's had to go through some dirt. You might be in your dirt season, waiting for you to come through the dirt so that you can become the rose that you were created to be. But first, you've got to be real about your situation. You've got to be real with yourself, and you've got to be real with the people in your circle of influence. Hey, Diamond Queen, thanks for joining. Hey, Fab Rib, thanks for joining. We are talking about the 4 best ways to practice self-care in your life right now. Be real with yourself. Let yourself know what's going on. Don't keep it all in let it out. Because just like any Coke bottle, if you keep the pressure in long enough, that bottle's gonna shake and it's going to explode. Hey, P. Angela Jones, thanks for sharing. Thanks for watching. We don't want you to explode. We want you to get it out. We want you to release the pressure. We want you to release the strain. We want you to release those emotions that may be keeping you down right now. So you've got to be real with yourself, and then you've got to be willing to tell everybody else how you feel as well. If somebody is getting on your nerve, now more than ever is the time to say, hey, you getting on my nerve. If something is holding you back and you can't be the normal, happy, jovial, exciting self that you used to be, it's okay. Just say it. Hey, I'm feeling some kind of way right now, and I just can't be that person that maybe you are used to me being or used to seeing, because I'm going through something. But I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna be real with myself, and I'm going to come out on the other side. You can guarantee it. Being real with yourself is going to allow that awareness for yourself and for the world to let them know that something is going on, but you are working on it. You are taking time for self, to care for self, so that you can come back stronger and care for everyone else. But that first thing you got to do, the first best way I know to practice self-care, is to be real with yourself. Yes, Maria. Yes, yes. Fabrib, you needed this. All right. Well, share it with somebody else, because if you need it, I know somebody else needs it too. Second thing, the second best way that I know to practice self-care is to set some expectations. Somebody put that in there. Hashtag set expectations. Because here's the one thing I know. If you don't expect anything in your life, you're not going to get anything in your life. If you don't set goals and expectations on your life, then you're not going to be satisfied with what comes in your life. Now, expectations go two ways. You've got to set expectations that you know you're going to reach, but you're also going to have to really moderate, really measure, really tone down some expectations. Let me give you an example. If you expect that now's your season, that you're going to lose 30 pounds, where over the last 20 years you haven't lost one, you may need to temper your expectations. Maybe you start your expectation with, I'm going to lose 5 pounds over the next month or over the next 2 months instead of 30, so that you don't get disappointed. Because let's be real, number one, if you haven't done it to this point, more than likely you're not going to have the motivation, the inspiration, and the obligation to hit that lofty goal right now. But if you moderate that expectation and then you meet the small goals, you can celebrate the small successes, and you can build new expectations based upon the old expectations that you've already reached. So set those expectations, but don't just be willy-nilly about it. Here's the third thing. The third thing that I know, the third best way I know to practice self-care in your life is to be strategic about it. Somebody put in the comments for me, please be strategic. Be strategic about your self-care. You know what? There's an old adage that says that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And just like you plan when you're going to go to work, just like you plan the route, how you're going to get to your destination, just when you plan what you're going to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, just like you plan most things in your life, you've got to plan some self-care into your life. I don't care if you pull out that old, I'm dating myself, this thing called a calendar where you actually can open up and you write things down. I don't care if you go get a calendar and write it down, a day, a time, and an amount of time you're going to utilize on just self-care. You've got to put it down and make it plain, just like everything else you do in your life. Because if you don't, then other things are going to come in and take control of your time. You probably seen it in your life already. You've said in your head, okay, this weekend I'm going to practice some self-care. And then the weekend came and it rained, or the weekend came and the kids had a softball game or a baseball game, or the weekend came and your car broke down, or whatever may come that you hadn't anticipated will come and take over your life because you didn't plan for it. You weren't strategic in making that happen. So right now in your head, while we're on talking about the third best way to practice self-care, I want you to think about what can you strategically plan this week in order to have some self-care in your life. Maybe you plan tonight to go have that bubble bath before you go to bed. Maybe tomorrow you plan to go to the spa. Maybe this weekend you plan to check out a ball game. Maybe Sunday you're going to get up an hour earlier than you normally do on Sundays, and you're going to sit outside and you're going to write in your journal what your plan is for self-care for next week. One small success can lead to an avalanche of successes if you just be strategic about putting some self-care in your life. That's the third best way I know. Be strategic about it and let the world know about your strategy. When you put in that calendar that this is my time, this is me time, this is my she shed moment, this is my man cave moment, then you put the world on notice. Like I said, go back to number one and you be real with the world. Hey world, from 9 o'clock a.m. to 10 o'clock a.m. on Sunday morning, don't call me, don't bother me, don't ask me to cook no breakfast, don't ask me to do nothing, because that is my time. That's me time. That's self-care time. And nobody else comes before you except for God. And God wants you to have that self-care time, because in that self-care time, that's usually the time where you can connect back to your source. Because if you don't connect to the source, sooner or later, you are going to break down. So you've got to take this opportunity to practice some self-care. Now, what's number 4? So I said, number 1, you've got to be real with yourself and real with others. Number 2, you've got to set expectations. Number 3, you've got to be strategic in planning those self-care moments in your life. But none of those 3 things are going to be effective unless you do number 4. So are you guys ready? Are you ready to hear what number 4 is? Number 4 of the 4 best ways I know how to practice self-care, it's the letter T. And that T stands for take action now. None of what I've just said over these last few minutes are going to make a hill of beans in your life unless you turn off this video and go take action on your own self-care. Part of what I'm doing right now is my self-care because I'm getting this off my chest. I am doing this for me just as well as you. You know, there used to be a commercial for the Hair Club of Men where it says, I'm not just only the president, but I am a member. Sometimes you've got to be the president and a member of your own self-care journey. When you take action and you are strategic and you set expectations and you're real about your self-care, then you're going to find those moments, no matter whether it's a minute or an hour or a day or a week, to recharge, refocus, relax, and repurpose yourself for the thing that you were created to do. Listen, guys, in life, there's always going to be another doctor. There's always going to be another accountant. There's always going to be another singer. There's always going to be another person that can take your job if you are no longer there to do it. But believe it and receive this. There will never, ever, 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 ever be another you. So it's up to you to do everything you can, especially in these trying times, to practice self-care, because I believe self-care is the best care. That's my unstoppable thought. Hopefully those 4 things are a blessing to you. If they are, I want you to do 2 things. I want you to share this video with someone else who may need to understand the 4 best ways that they can practice self-care. And then number 2, I want you to comment and let me know what big takeaway you got from this video, because it's going to let me know if this video resonated with you, and it's also going to give me some ideas for other videos in the future. So please reach out to me on here on Facebook. You can reach out to me at my website, unstoppablecoaching.com. I invite you guys to check me and hundreds of other speakers out next week, this time next week at the Success Fest 2021 virtual event. Go to www.successfest2021.com to register. You'll see me and some hundreds of others motivational speakers from across the globe that are charged with disrupting the way you think, refocusing the way you are, and setting you on a trajectory towards success in your life. So join me August 25th through the 28th online, www.successfest2021.com. Register right now for this free event. It's free to register, but it's priceless what you're going to get. Michelle D, she's going to be one of the speakers there, so you definitely want to check her out, and you check all of us out. And last but not least, thank you guys for always participating and tuning in to Unstoppable Thoughts each week with me, your host, Coach Terrence. And wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day. Go out and practice the 4 best ways to have self-care in your own life and make it an unstoppable day. Take care.